What time is it? Anybody?
We don't know.
I don't know what time it is. And where's my watch?
We don't care.
I was in the store and I went, I gotta find some kind of a thing I can put up here to look at the time. And he forgot to bring it. Oh, I see it. Okay, there's one. Okay. You don't have them in heaven. You don't need them. You're never going to be late. You're never going to stay too long. Isn't that awesome? Okay, question. We'll take about 3 more. I don't want to wear y'all out.
Hi, I just want to know, how do we get to heaven like you do? And what does that heaven coming on earth? What does that mean exactly?
Well, I would just say ask the Father to take you. And actually, I don't give classes on how to go there. I'm glad he didn't tell me to do that. I'd never have a life at all in between speaking. And you can see after just having a few questions answered, you're going to get a lot of detail. And another reason he picked me is I am a detail person. That's why my companies loved me. And if I ever called and left you a message, you're not going to get 2 words. And when I used to prophesy to people, it would take 4 or 5 hours for that to happen. So, what was your question? Oh, I know. Just ask him. And in the last days, he is going to start catching people up. He's going to start catching people up and taking them. That's his glory being released on there. It's his glory being poured out in God's people. They call it the Heaven Invasion because heaven is about to invade this earth like they never had before. But I mean, literally, you will see angels. He's going to let people with human eyes see angels, even especially the sinners, especially. And what they'll be doing is they'll be there right with the people. When they're praying for people in the miracles, they'll see the angels bring the body parts. They'll open their eyes. He said, I'm going to allow angels to be put on television, on the internet, in newspapers, in magazines like never before, because there'll come a time on this earth where people won't be able to say there's no God. He's going to let heaven invade the earth. You know why? Because anyone who's a military man knows you can't inhabit something till you invade it. Is that right? Well, he's coming for a habitation, not a visitation. Joel 2 is a habitation of God in his people till it saturates entire regions. Regions on the earth will be inhabited by God's presence and power and glory. Till those regions, evil won't be able to be there. I'm going to talk a lot about that tonight.
I have 3 questions. First, were you ever scared to go to heaven?
No. Oh, never, never, never. I already had such an intimate relationship. I'd already seen the Lord on the earth many times, and I'd seen angelic beings and the demonic. I don't talk a lot about them unless I expose them. But no, I had such a relationship. My dad did, my grandmother so. I was raised from a little kid in that. No fear.
All right. And then my second question is, have you ever asked to take somebody with you when you go visit?
No. Because I don't know when I'm going. I never know when I'm going. Rarely ever do they say, we're going to take you up or something. I'm just gone. I'm like here, and then what's that like? It's like you step into another room and it's a different place. But no, the whole thing about the no fear is if you don't have sin in your life, there's going to be no reason to fear. Not that I didn't have. There's times in my life when I sinned, we all do. I repented real quick. But that has a lot to do with it, is how you live your life. You're looking for them, expecting to be with them, just craving that presence to be with them. So when you do, you're not going to be afraid. You're going to be so filled with life. Besides, I'm like a kid when I go there. And more.
Just one last one. Is there a specific language, or how do you actually communicate? Is it just in thought?
They communicate many ways in heaven. If you're going to live there and stay there, it might be different, but I actually still talk with my mouth. If they take me up there, I don't talk to any of the redeemed, and I like to make that perfectly clear that I'm there as an observer when he takes me. It's like you couldn't see somebody if they're standing by you now, because angels are around everybody. Every person in here has angels with you. Do you see them? No matter how much you look around. But they're there. Well, that's pretty much, he does a reverse thing with me. Isn't that funny? Brings a human to heaven. Don't let them. Now the angels see me. They see everything. But the people don't see me there. That they'll talk freely about all of you. They talk about their families nonstop. But I would just say, ask him, what she said, ask him to take you. And he said, in the last days I'm going to start catching up groups of people even together and showing them heaven more and more.
Hi.
Hi.
Bible stories. Do we get to experience them? Do we watch them? What's going on?
That is a really good question. You're going to love the answer. There's a place in heaven, one of my most favorite places to talk about is Creation Lab. And there's a reason why they call it a lab, everybody. If you know what you do in a laboratory, what do? That's right, you experiment. You experiment. God has plans for you on the new earth. And He's shown me, before I was taken to heaven, showed me through the move of God, through the millennial reign, before He ever took me to heaven. He'd shown me ages to come, and for a long time. But you actually get to go in this place called Creation Lab. One of the things they do in there is there's this huge big room, massive room, and I'm sure more things get created. You have to create the door to get in. Don't think you're not going to use your faith. You might not be using it to be healed or to get your rent paid or, or for God to fulfill the vision, but you'll still have to use it. You use faith to create now in this earth. You do use faith. Everything you get is by faith from God. He is moved by the faith of people. And you get to a level where you go from believing to having faith. And there is a level where you cross over. People go, well, I've been saying it. Well, you might say you're believing it, but when something happens in here, in your spirit, something clicks, and it doesn't matter what anyone says to you, no one's ever going to steal it from you, you're in faith. Amen. Yeah, that's the difference. That's the difference. But it's important to declare things because it builds it, okay? And when you declare what God said, that's still the Word of God. Okay, faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the spoken word of God. And if it's you speaking His word, it's still building faith. If you don't have anything else, get the Bible out and start declaring things He said about you. Really. But you have to have faith to create the door to get in Creation Lab, or you're never getting in there. It's really cool. And then you go in and this pedestal platform came up, and all around you is this massive hologram, so real that you think you can touch it. It's so real, it's that vivid. You watch the whole Bible. One of the things you get to do is watch everything that happened in the Bible. But my thing I wanted to see was the original creation. And you literally can stand there when there's darkness all around you, and then a rays, this beautiful brilliant light comes, and it's the Father. And you see Him speaking things into existence. You see Him throwing the planets out into the sky, the galaxies. You see Him throwing all this stuff out there. You know what He did? He thought of it. Imagination is from God. People need to stop saying you don't have an imagination, it's bad. The enemy's evil and wicked. Imagination is not. If it's from God, you have to have that to create. You see things, you imagine the things from God, or He drops something in there for you to create yourself or invent. That's His imagination. God would have think of it. This is what He did. He would think of it, He would say it, He would look at it, and if He liked it, it stayed. That's what it says in Genesis. That's how He made everything on the earth. God saw that it was good. Well, sometimes maybe He saw it wasn't good. Erased it, and then did it again. Well, you stand there and see Him create the whole universe, and then you see Him make the earth the first time He made it, when He put dinosaurs on there. You see how the Ice Age came. First you see how the earth split into the different land masses, because it was one land mass. Isn't that awesome? And then you actually see the whole process of time. How God brought the Ice Age, how He froze it with His breath, how He defrosted it with His breath. And in verse 2, the rest of it starts. 1-1, and between 1-1 and 1-2 are millions of years. Millions of years. And you see all of it standing here. You see Adam and Eve being created. You see how God